My God-given name is Sean Peter McCartney. My persona, I'm affectionately known as the Angry Quad. I want to tell you how I got that way, and I want to let you know how it benefits me. I'm about 5'8" tall. Right now I'm back up to about 153 pounds, 152 pounds. Obviously, I'm not a man of massive fucking structure. I'm not a fucking huge guy. And obviously, I wasn't a very big kid. I was born the youngest of 8 in Orange, New Jersey, to a good Irish Catholic family. Didn't have a whole hell of a lot growing up. A lot of brothers and sisters. Sure miss those guys, but they're busy doing whatever they're doing. Just keep checking on my dog, make sure she's not up to no good. Like I was saying, all this breathing exercises I'm doing, man, I just cough a lot now. Wasn't a very big kid. I attended about 8 different schools as a kid growing up. Seems like every time I turned around, I was the new kid. I was also a little kid. I also was sporting glasses. Made things a little difficult growing up. Nowadays you hear a lot of shit about kids getting bullied. And oh my God, it's fucking horrible. These fucking monsters. Oh my God, fucking ridiculous. Listen, let me tell you something. First time I encountered a bully, like a real bully, was in 5th grade. I was in a new school. So 4th grade? Probably 4th grade. Yeah, 4th grade. I was going to school in Hillside. Yeah, that's right. I was at a new school. Well, I was a new kid. I was a little kid. And I had glasses. I was also affectionately known as Four Eyes, which still to this day makes me laugh. It fucking cracks me up. I think that's a great fucking little term of endearment as I used to take it. I was the nutty professor, I was the professor, I was the mad scientist, I was all sorts of shit. But for a while, in a couple of different situations, I was a little shitbag whipping boy. The target was my fucking lunch money or whatever the fuck I had. Anyway, I remember the whole story. I was, one of the first days I was walking down the hall, some fucking lumpy shit bumped into me. Didn't think twice about it. You know, a couple days later, the same kid bumped into me, knocked all my shit out of my hands. And he started laughing. You know what? A new kid. Really didn't know what it was all about being a new kid. When I was a new kid, I was like, what the fuck is this all about? Well, I went to school one day. Had the same kid caught up to me. Just walked right up to me. He said, give me your fucking lunch money. Looked at him, I said, what? Well, before I knew what happened, I got punched in the stomach. Safe to say I lost my lunch money that day. Like, what the fuck was that all about? A couple days later, same kid caught up to me. Give me your fucking lunch money. Told him, I ain't giving you my motherfucking lunch money, you little shit. Well, that day, I got hit in the eye over here. Yeah, I lost my lunch money that day too. You know, at that point in time, I really didn't have the slightest idea what to do. I was a little freaked out. New kid, little kid, Four Eyes, all the rest of that tough guy shit. Well, a couple days later, slightly different situation. Saw the kid, took off running. Got to have lunch that day. Pizza, burgers, and fucking, what do you call those little potato things? Those, I don't know, little potato nugget things. They were fucking yummy. A couple days later, saw the kid, took off running. A little while later, he caught up to me. I didn't have my pizza, burgers, and fucking little nugget things again. It was a little disheartening. A couple days later, same fucking thing. Give me your shit. Knocked me down, took my fucking lunch money. Went home, told my mom. Actually, my grandmother. Who told my mom. Who told the principal. The very next day, I ended up pulled out of class. I was in the office, and here's this kid next to me. And his mom was there, my mom was there, blah, blah, blah. Your son's hitting my son, blah, 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 taking his fucking lunch money. You know, for a couple days, everything was cool. Till one day, we're at a recess. Kid fucking comes up to me. You little fucker, you got me in trouble. Kick my ass. I was like, what the fuck? Well, sure enough, a couple days later, kid caught up to me in the morning. Give me your lunch money. Before I even thought about anything, I punched him square in his fucking nose. He went down. I kicked him, fucking like, I thought about 1,000 times, probably once or twice. I was gone. Let me tell you something. We had pizza that fucking day. That pizza was the most delicious pizza I ever had in my life. A couple days later, I saw him on the way to school. I walked up to him. Told him, how's your nose? He didn't say anything. Never had a problem with that kid again. Fast forward the very next year, I was at a new school. New kid, little kid, 4 eyes, all the rest of that tough guy shit. This time, after I was at school for a couple of weeks, 2 kids approached me. One little shit just like I was, and one taller kid. Give me your fucking lunch money. I looked at the kid, I said, I'm not giving you your fucking lunch money. Big kid came up, pushed me against the lockers. The other kid punched me in the stomach, took my fucking lunch money. I was like, motherfucker. Well, I didn't tell my mother because it didn't work out very well the last time. 2 days later, same 2 kids. This time I just reached out and I punched that little motherfucker right in the eye. He dropped like a fucking bag of potatoes, little fucking piece of shit. The other kid knocked me the fuck down. At this point in time, there was a couple people buzzing around, so both of them fucking pissed off. Very next day, damn near very same spot. Confronted by the same 2 kids. Give me your shit. Knocked my books out of my hands. This time, I kicked the bigger kid right square in the fucking nuts. He dropped to the ground. The other kid had this look on his face like he didn't know what the fuck to do. I grabbed him by his fucking hair. He screamed like a little girl. I punched him in his face anyway. I picked my shit up and I was the fuck out of there. A couple days later, maybe about a week later, these 2 little fuckers came up on me. They didn't say a word. One kid just punched me right in my fucking face. The other kid went to kick me and I rolled out of the way. Got up. Second I got to my feet, both of them took off. A couple weeks later, I asked the teacher if I can use the bathroom. I had to take a piss. This is in between classes. I walked into the bathroom, who the fuck was there? The little motherfucker was there. I looked at him, he looked at me. We both took care of our business. As I turned around, he was standing in front of the door. He gave me this fucking look and he was just like, what are you gonna do? Well, the next thing I remember, this fucking kid was on the ground with his fucking nose bleeding. I don't know how many fucking times I hit him and I still think I'm fucking hitting him. Safe to say, I didn't have a problem with that little fucker or his buddy anymore. I got my ass whooped a few times, but I stood up and I took care of business. Damn good thing. 2 years later, I'm in 7th grade. I'll be motherfucked. At this point in time, I was going to school in Maryland. In the mornings before school, all the kids would gather up around one of these doors. There would be like a couple hundred kids there. We're going inside, and I swear this must have been like the 3rd or 4th day in school. And as I'm going into school, I feel somebody's hand stick into my pocket. I go to grab it. Hand comes out of the pocket. I look around. There's kids everywhere. I don't see shit. And I look over, and this little fucker is counting money. I said, hey, motherfucker, give me back my money. He said, fuck you, that's my cash. I said, what the f... God damn it. Fucking pissed off. Well, about a week later, everybody's all bunched up. Next thing I know, I feel a hand in my pocket. I grab the fucking hand, I turn around, same fucking kid. Had his hand with my right hand, turned around, punched him with my left. Next thing you know, I got 3 kids fucking pushing, punching, swinging. I stood nothing. I had nothing. I just fell to the fucking ground and went into a fucking ball. That was fine. No problem. About 2 weeks later, walking by the front of the school. I used to walk to school and back. Yeah, that's right. 10 miles uphill both ways, in the rain, in the snow. You know, all the rest of that tough guy shit. Walking by a school bus. And there was a couple kids in the school bus that I know. You know, Reggie, some other kid. Hey, next thing you know, this little fucking kid comes running out of the fucking bus right at me. I was like, holy shit, here he comes. He didn't duck, he didn't do anything. I fucking swung. I hit him right in his fucking eye right here. He fucking hit the ground. I never heard so many kids laugh their asses off before in my life. I thought it was the funniest thing I ever fucking heard. However, there was a couple kids coming out of the bus at that point in time, so I figured it would best to beat feet. I bolted the fuck out of there. Very next day, talking to Reggie and a couple of the other guys, they were laughing their ass off. The kid didn't come to school because he had a fucking black eye out to here. Safe to say I didn't have a problem with him anymore. Fast forward 2 more years. New school, new kids, new everything. I was a little bit bigger, but so was everybody else. Ran into once again a couple other kids. They didn't want my lunch money. I was just a new little fucking white boy. Yeah, motherfucker, it was, what was it? Honky, cracker, all the rest of that shit. I still to this day laugh my ass off about it. A lot of pushing, a lot of shoving. I think I got hit once. I just chalked it up as experience. Maybe we're going to get this shit out of their system. Well, they didn't get that out of their fucking system. They had to have that shit taken out of their system. Methodically, one by one, I found each one of those little motherfuckers. And I found out the kids, when they travel in packs, are slightly different than when they're alone. You could just scream and yell and fucking make like you're gonna fucking hit them and they fold like a fucking house of cards. Never had a problem anymore. Went to another school after that, never had any more problems whatsoever. I found a very valuable lesson. There's a couple different things you can do when you're confronted by a bully. You can get your ass whooped and lose your fucking lunch money. You can run away, you're going to get caught. You can tell on them, there's repercussions for being a snitch in the fucking schoolyard. Or you can stand up to them. Fast forward 35 fucking years later. July 7th, 2011. I'm in bed around 10:30. I get up to use the bathroom. I come back. I was in actually a really good mood that night. Had a beautiful day planned for the next day. Had all my materials on the site. All my tools were all ready to go. It was going to be one of those cakewalk days where you show up and fuck around and make $1,000 and it felt like you did fucking nothing. Woo fucking who. But when I came back to bed, I went to hop up on the corner of my bed. Well, instead of hopping up on the corner of the bed, I hopped up and fucking went over the side of the bed. Bed was up a little bit higher than normal. Went fucking over, ass over tea kettle, came down right on top of my fucking head. Little dog. Heard the most ridiculous crunch I've ever heard in my life. Hit the ground like a fucking bag of dead cats. I knew that very second that I was fucked up. ICU. Inpatient. Finally got out of inpatient therapy. Was there for a couple months, ICU for a couple months. Ended up in my sister's house for a couple months. First time I realized that as soon as you get more than 2 adults under one roof, there's going to be shit going on. There's people that talk about people, there's people that don't talk about people, there's people that do things, people don't do things. And a lot of times people just don't get a fucking along. You ever watch a reality show? What's it all based on? All the bullshit where everybody's fucking bitching and moaning at everybody. You realize as soon as you fucking have more than 2 people making any decision, you're gonna find you can't order a fucking pizza without a fucking headache. Anyhow, finally got home here, March 2012. 8 months after I was injured. I couldn't put 2 fucking thoughts together. I could barely raise my fucking arms over my head. Couldn't grab anything, hands didn't work, nothing was going on. I was suicidal, I was depressed, I was confused. I felt like a broken, defeated man. I was anxious all the time. I was afraid constantly. The whole world had fallen apart. Sean Peter McCartney died July 7th, 2011. Anyway, I got home that March, a couple of years back. And after being home for a couple months and seeing what my wife had to deal with quite constantly, all the time, you lose control of your body. That includes your bowels, your bladder, your fucking brain, and your everything else in between. It's like being re-fucking born. But it's even scarier because you know more. You're a little kid, you're born, that's one thing, man. You're reborn, you die, you come back. Wow. Yeah, I did die. I died in the ambulance. They revived me. Died on the operating table. They revived me. Gave me an emergency laminectomy. Told you all this, but I just followed the story. I'm trying to tell you where the angry quad came from. You know, after I was operated on, they had the ventilator thing went down my throat. I had fucking tubes sticking out of every possible orifice. I had shit stuck in my arm, stickers all over me. I had machines that went and another machine that just went beep, beep. I was like, put me in a coma to keep me from tearing tubes out because of my fucking infinite wisdom. I started pulling shit out of me. I didn't know where the fuck I was. Didn't know what was going on. You know, all that shit, you always hear about all this. Oh, fuck out of here. You always hear about all this shit where People have these, they see these big lights when they're in a coma. And they have these visions and after all the rest of that shit. None of that shit. No. None. I came out of a coma and the first face I saw was Mare's face, standing right over me. I went to give her a big hug. Arms barely moving, they weren't going anywhere anyway because I was tied to the fucking bed. Second face I saw was my sister Sharon, God rest her soul. Okay, no matter how bad you are, things can always get worse. Remember that. Always get worse. I got home here, like I said, March 2012. Thought everything was fucking horrible. And honestly, it was. Fucking terrible. I couldn't figure out shit. I had no idea what was going on. Next thing I know, my other sister Kathleen shows up one day. She sits at a table, she looks me square in the face and tells me my sister, Sharon, the one that actually took care of me, and Kathleen actually drove 2,500 miles across fucking country to take care of me. A lot of people made a lot of sacrifices for me. Think for a second that I'm not grateful and I don't appreciate it, you've lost your fucking mind. A lot of people involved in saving my fucking life. Mare was the ultimate. She truly, actually, physically saved my life more than once. For that, I will never be able to repay her. But it's not going to be from a lack of trying. But my sister came to my house to tell me that my sister Sharon was the recipient of stage 4 small cell endocarcinoma lung cancer. I didn't know what the fuck happened. None of it made any sense to me. Didn't catch up to me for like fucking at least 2 weeks. Exactly the severity of the situation. I thought what everything I thought was bad just got worse. And then Mare's sister ends up in the fucking hospital with a massive infection. A couple weeks later, she's dead. Fucking died. I couldn't be there for Mare. Only about a month later, my fucking sister died. I never felt so helpless before in my life. Everything I thought that couldn't get worse, fucking was terrible. Worst shit ever. And I realized that life had started to bully me. All the same feelings. Confused, anxious, nervous, a feeling of helplessness. Just like a fucking bully. And I only knew one way to deal with bullies. A couple days later, Mare had left these small little dumbbells, little 3-pound guys. They were on a chair or a bench or some shit. I just looked at them, and as best I could, because I had nothing. I mean, I couldn't do this. I couldn't do anything. You know, I'm still fucking Captain Useless, but I'm Captain Not As Useless. We're working on that shit. Grabbed these little dumbbells to the best of my ability. And was able to get them up, lifted them up. Was wiggling them around a little bit. You know, a little over the head here, there, a little bit of punching. I swear it felt like my head exploded at that point in time. I had an epiphany that if I was going to be able to do much of anything, if I was ever going to enjoy my life again, I had to fight. It felt like I felt sorry for myself for so fucking long. The self-pity, the self-fucking-loathing, all the fucking guilt. Having people take care of me left and right and left. And being absolutely fucking useless, terrified, confused, and all the rest of that shit. In one fucking stroke, my head fucking exploded and I knew what the fuck I had to do. Problem was, I didn't know what to do. Had no idea what the fuck to do. One thing I did know to do, get the fuck to work. I'm a fucking contractor. I've been working for the last 35 years of my fucking life. You don't even want to fucking know. Cracks me the fuck up. I ended up getting fucking hurt in bed. I've been fucking hit by backhoes, bulldozers, ran over by dump trucks, falling into footings, falling off roofs, falling out of trees, hit by branches, hit by fucking 2x material. I should be fucking dead 15 times already. Let alone the abuse that I did to myself with boozing and all the rest of that tough guy shit. Oh. And fighting. You know, once again, not being the biggest guy in the world. I certainly was pretty fast, though, thank God. Anyway. Like I said, up until that point, my life had been steered by apathy, sorrow, confusion, and the only thing I could focus on were simply the facts of what was. You know, not what was going to be or anything else. Couldn't figure that out. Like I say, all of a sudden, boom, I was able to think. I had a brand new found determination. And I thought about all the shit that was going on. Thought about all the shit that Mare was taking from people that I know, people, even family members, about shit that was going on. I thought about a lot of the shit that I was dealing with therapists that didn't seem to me they were really paying any real attention. Doctors, I had one doctor was such a fucking cunt-faced little fucking whore. Always quick with a fucking answer. Unless, of course, you really had a question. And all of a sudden, it wasn't her fucking job. It wasn't her responsibility. It wasn't her fucking whatever. She can go fuck herself. Maybe I'll tell you the name. Maybe I won't. Probably best I don't. That's a story for another day. All of a sudden, like I say, I was able to see things clear, determination. That's when the angry quad showed up. That's when I realized that I had a life debt to pay. I had about 20 guys work on this fucking house. Like I say, I'm a contractor. I know a lot of contractors. A lot of these guys I worked with, some that were actually really good friends, I don't really see anymore. I don't understand why. It's not a concern of mine anymore. I can't worry about that shit. A couple other friends that I see quite often. Not as often as I would like to, but even still. You know, everybody's got their lives. I realize that. I got on the floor. And I started rolling. And I started wiggling around. And I started moving. A little bit of push-ups. Couldn't really do push-ups. I couldn't really roll around too good. But in my head, I had to get my body moving. And there was only one way. Move your fat ass, Sean. It was amazing. That was a couple of years ago. You have to do this. Focus your energy and get fucking busy. Things happen. Sometimes life ends up a fucking bully. And the best way to deal with bullies is punch them square in their fucking face. Sick your fucking dog on them. Who is it? Get over here. Let's go. Get over here. Up. Up. What are you doing? Good girl. What are you doing? Arr, 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 arr. Or you could try to tell your mom and maybe she'll do something. It's not going to do anything. Miss my mom. She passed away some years back. You can run away. It's going to catch up to you. You can stand and fight. That's what works for me, and I suggest you do the same thing. Find your fucking angry quad. And kick fucking ass. Figure it out and get to work. Go get 'em.